Hi there, so in this video I'm going to talk to you about website speed and how you can speed up your website instantly using a plugin like WP Rocket. Now first off, why is website speed important? Now from a Google perspective, Google have confirmed over the years that website speed is monitored and is a ranking factor. So from an SEO perspective, you want to make sure that your website is loading as fast as it possibly can, purely because you want to make sure that you're ticking all of the right boxes from a Google perspective. You want them to love your website. And if your website's loading slower than your competition, that may give them the upper hand in terms of ranking. Now, secondly, another important ranking signal is engagement on your website. So when people land on your website and it takes 15 seconds to load, people may bounce off of your website and straight onto the competition. Now, if you don't speed up your website, that is a real possibility. Now, not only are you losing the customer, but more importantly, you're not getting those engagement signals, and that is really, really important from an SEO perspective as well. But the other thing that's really important is to make sure that your customers convert, because you've got a website for a reason. You want to sell your product or service or generate leads. And if it takes 20 seconds for your website to load, people are going to go off and on to someone else's website. So I'm going to show you how you can speed up your website quickly using WP Rocket. So WP Rocket is going to help you speed up your website instantly. Now, why would you want to use it and how does it work? Now, you simply install the plugin, activate it, and you're going to get 80% of the web performance best practices straight away. So straight away, out the box, you should have a website that loads a lot faster. Now, why does it load faster? So there are settings for page caching, image optimization, lazy rendering, gzip compression, browser caching, preloading, and a bunch of other stuff. Now, by doing that, it will make your files lighter and your website load faster. Now, as I said earlier, that is important from an SEO perspective, from a user engagement perspective, because those are important signals, but also from a customer perspective. They want to be on a website that loads fast. They're likely to convert better and all of that stuff. So what you do is you can go here and you can get it for as little as $59 a year for one website. If you manage multiple websites, you can get it for $299 per year for 50 websites. And again, you can get 500 or 100, depending on how many websites that you have or maintain. Now, you simply go sign up and grab WP Rocket. You then log in and you'll see you can download your plugin right here, and you'll be able to see that I've got it on craigcampbellseo.com, which is my main website, but also on this website here, Boat Sales Scotland, which is the one that I'm going to test it on just now. And you will be able to see I've been a user of WP Rocket for a long time, since back in 2018. Big fan of the plugin, and it helps me improve the performance of my websites. So let's go in and show you exactly how this works. So this is the website, just a standard website, hasn't had any kind of crazy optimizations done, and as it stands right now, it has a performance grade of D. Performance is 61%, largest contentful paint is 3.4 seconds, and if we go to performance, you will see that everything on the left hand side is much longer than recommended, and on the right hand side we have some problems as well, other than the total blocking time. Now, if you're unsure what any of these mean, there are question marks here which will tell you what all of this stuff means. So it is all relevant to site speed, and that is what we want to improve with WP Rocket. So we simply go in, go to plugins, and we add new plugin and simply upload the plugin after we download it from where I just showed you to download it from. So we go here and we put in WP Rocket, and I will put this version on because that is the latest version, and I'm going to install it now. So we upload the zip file, and that is it. Activate the plugin. Simple and easy. You don't need any developer or technical expertise, and boom, the plugin is installed. So we go to settings and we get to see the nice dashboard that the guys provide us with, and it says it's now activated and is already working for me, and my website should already be loading faster. Now that's great, but there are some other settings which I'm going to talk you through. Now I'm going to talk you through some of these from bottom to top. Bottom, Imagify is going to help speed up your website with lighter images. We will install that. Now the guys at WP Rocket also have Rank Math, Back WP Up, and Termly as some other plugins that you might want to consider. Backing up your website prior to doing anything is always a wise move, just in case something happens. Rank Math is up there with the best SEO plugins that you can get, and many people in the industry are using Rank Math and speak highly of it. Termly, if you want to make sure that you're compliant, and so on and so forth. Now, tutorials. WP Rocket have tutorials here on getting started, passing the core web vitals, troubleshooting, add-ons, and they also have a community help center. You can get in contact with them, and they are on hand to help you at any given point. So they do have a nice Facebook community where you can talk with other users and learn and develop your websites with those guys as well. So that's important. Now, tools. If you, for any reason, have already got WP Rocket, you can download the settings from another website. You can upload and import settings as well. Now, with WordPress, sometimes certain plugins collide with the latest version of WordPress. If that ever happens to you, you can reinstall a previous version of WP Rocket. I've actually not seen this in many other plugins, so a great feature there as well. And you can update your inclusion and exclusion lists as well. So cool little features there. Now, from there, I am going to go straight up to the top and talk you through some of the optimization options, because the website should be loading 80% better, or it's not 80% better, but have 80% of what we need to get it to load better. But there are some other options. So you can go through and tick optimize CSS delivery. Now, yes, it will tell you that this could break things, because what it's doing is removing unused CSS. So if I click that and for any reason something no longer worked on my website, if I simply unticked it, it would go back to normal. However, I am greedy for more speed, so I am going to tick that box and make sure that I'm getting optimal speed. Now, you can tick various other boxes on here, like combining your JavaScript files, load JavaScript deferred, and you can delay JavaScript execution. So I'm going to click save at the bottom for those changes in the hope that that gets me some more speed. Media. We know that images take a bit longer to load, so I am going to enable lazy load for images, background CSS, iframes and videos, image dimensions, and I'm even going to do self-host Google Fonts, even though there isn't any on the website. I'm going to tick it anyway to see what it does. And that is the media section. Now, preload, these settings are already activated by default. You can prefetch external files to make sure that those load faster with your website, and you can preload different fonts and put the URLs for those in there as well, and click Save Changes. And again, add a little bit more speed. Now, advanced rules, I'm not going to touch this because I don't really have anything to touch here now. It's saying here, cache files older than the specified lifespan will be deleted, enabling preloading for the cache to be rebuilt automatically after lifespan expiration. So you can basically reduce the lifespan on here if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you to make sure that the latest version of your website is loading for people out there from the cached version of the website. So there is other settings there, but I'm not going to tweak too much with those settings because it's not an advanced website. It doesn't get updated all the time and no need for me to use those settings, but it is there should you have the requirement to do so. Now, with a database in your website, people regularly edit their blogs, and every time you do that, it saves a revision on the database in your website, as well as any kind of comments, trash comments. They all are saved on your database. Now, you can tick all of these and clean up your database so that you have a fast, clean loading database, and that is going to get you less bloat and more performance on your website. Now, CDN, this is something you can add as an extra from Rocket CDN. You can get for $7.99 a month, and you can increase the performance of your website by doing that as well. Now, I'm not going to do that on this basic website, but that option is there, and you can tie that in with Rocket CDN for $7.99. Heartbeat is you can reduce or disable Heartbeat API so that it saves some of your server resources. If that, for any reason, was to slow down your website, you can disable that or reduce it. Add-ons. Now, these are one-click WP Rocket add-ons. Now, user cache. You can learn more exactly what that is, but I'm going to switch it on because it is going to give me more speed. Now, varnish. Again, the varnish cache will be purged every time a WP Rocket clears its cache to ensure that my content is always up to date. That is something I want to do, so I'm going to make that go on as well. WebP compatibility. I want to have the ability to have WebP images on my website, so I'm going to tick that box. And if I wanted Cloudflare, which is another CDN, or I wanted to add security to get extra security on the website, then these are options as well. So I have ticked the add-ons that I want on here, and I'm going to move on to the next step. Now, image optimization. Images can account for 50% of your loading time. So this one is really, really important. Now, the guys do have a separate plugin for this called Imagify. Now, I'm going to install that just now because it comes recommended. There is a free plan. If you've got lots of images, there is something you can upgrade to. Now, you simply have to create an account. It will email you an API key. Now, I've already done this, so my API key is there. You simply put that in, click Connect Me, and you go configure the settings. Now, there is default settings on there already, such as auto-optimize images on upload, backup original images. I am also going to tick lossless compression, and you can pick the image format that you want to use, whether that be AVIF or WebP. I'm going to tick that because I want the next gen format on the website, and I can resize images to a maximum size, and you've got the ability to tick or untick the different other images on there. And like I say, you go and click save and go to bulk optimizer. Now, by clicking that, it will then take you to this page here, and it will tell me that nothing's been optimized as of yet. I've got to click the button down at the bottom here, imagify them all, and I'm going to start the optimization. So the plugin is then going to go away in the background and optimize everything on the image side of the website. So that is going to run in the background. I'm going to pause the video so that you don't have to watch it. It will take 3 or 4 minutes and then show you the results. So we have 64 media image files optimized. So that has all been done. So again, going to go back to the plugin, and I think that is all of the optimizations that I can do without adding the CDN. So yeah, that is everything that I can do using all of the kind of settings that are on there so far. So that, I've just got to make sure that I activate the CSS stuff. I'm just going to click Save Changes and make sure that that is processing my pages. So the plugin is working in the background. So I'm just making sure that that's done. I'm making sure that all the image optimizations are done. The database is clean. I don't need anything in preload or advanced rules. We don't install a CDN on a website like this, but you can if you wanted further performance. Not a lot to do on Heartbeat. The add-ons I've added on that I needed to add on. The WebP compatibility has went to off because I've installed Imagify, so that does it all for me. The tools I don't need to do anything with, and that's more for settings. Tutorials if you want to learn more, and of course the other plugins that the guys have. And just bear in mind that they do have resources, support, and everything else on here to help you along the way. And as I say, emphasizing that you don't need a developer to do all of this work for you. So what has that done in terms of the speed of the website? So I've got a D, performance of 61%, largest contentful paint, 3.4 seconds. And if I wanted to dig a little bit deeper, you can see all of this here. So I am going to do another speed test on this just now, and let's see the results. So from there, you will see that I've now got a performance score of B, and you'll see that the website is loading in under 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds, which is good. It's green, which is always a good sign. Now, you will go in here and it will still show you longer than recommended, speed index is longer than recommended, and so on and so forth. However, that could be down to a number of other factors, including where your website's hosted and various other bits and bobs. Now, this website is on a very cheap website hosting company. You could add a CDN to get that up even further, but the recommended speed of a website is if it's loading in under 2 seconds, you're doing very well. Now, if you're on a server that's not the most expensive, again, that can impact your speed. And if you don't have that CDN, which is an option, like I said earlier, then that could get you further speed increases. And like I say, Rocket CDN can be $7.99 a month, and you can also get further speed enhancements. So that is the difference that WP Rocket and clicking a few buttons can get for your website's performance, and it's well under the 2 seconds, which is what everyone says in the industry that your website should load under. So if you want to get more performance out of your website, using WP Rocket is a great option. Like I say, you'll never get a perfect A unless you have a CDN and you're on a super web server. So be realistic. However, WP Rocket does show amazing increases in terms of the speed and performance of your website. And from an SEO guy, those are really important factors when it comes to ranking on Google. From a speed perspective, that's a ranking factor, but like I said, engagement signals are also a big ranking factor, and of course, not forgetting the user experience of your customers. If they don't like your website, they will quickly go off and use someone else. So check out the link below. There may even be a bit of a discount for you there, and check out WP Rocket to get a faster website today.